Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be discussing our student-led discussions on the 1920s, and I want you to create some questions for each other to answer in this discussion. So let me share my screen and let's go over the assignment together and how to complete it properly. All right, so here's our student-led discussion on the 1920s. In our last major assignment last week, you wrote a compare and contrast essay. So you want to have that downloaded and keep that handy. That should be saved into your Google Drive or onto your desktop. And I have the one that I created here. Obviously, I did not finish mine because I was just giving you an example, but you want to keep that handy because you're going to use it to create some questions later. So I'm looking at this. Sorry, my printer's being very loud. We're going to choose 3 of those categories to create an open-ended discussion. So what we want to do is think about what our topics were, and we want to think about what an open-ended question is. So a closed question is like a yes or no question, right? If the answer is yes or no, or if it's a factual answer, like in what year did someone do this, that's considered a closed question. For open questions, you want to ask people something that is going to reflect their opinion and their attitude, or maybe they might have to list some things. So typically, open-ended questions are going to begin with how did the 1920s XYZ? How do we view the 2020s differently in this category or that category? So you're going to create an open-ended question. I have created a couple of examples. You may not use these examples in your writing, but you can use them to sort of generate ideas. So here's an open-ended question example. How did the concept of flappers challenge traditional gender roles of the 20s? And what broader societal changes did this movement symbolize? So this gives someone a lot of information. They're going to talk about flappers, they're going to talk about gender roles of the 20s, and they're going to talk about societal changes. And so that is a question that you're going to create. All right, something similar. Here's one about the economy. How did economic prosperity of the 20s affect different social classes? And what were the long-term consequences of the wealth gap during this era? So people are going to need to know the different social classes. They're going to have to know what was going on in the economy of the 1920s, and they're going to have to talk about the wealth gap. So this is a very open-ended question. All right. So your assignment is to create 3 open-ended questions about 3 of those categories. Remember technology, fashion, gender norms, attitudes towards race, economy, and prosperity and recession on the 20s. You're going to create 3 questions. All right, that's all you have to do for the first part of this is to create 3 questions. So here you're going to hit reply and you're just going to write question 1, and then you're going to create your question. Then you're going to do the same for question 2 and question 3. That's all you have to do initially, and then you post your reply. Alrighty. Then your next thing that you're going to do is come back maybe a day or 2 later, and you're going to reply to 2 students answering one of the questions they wrote in detail. So they're not yes or no questions. You need to provide a detailed answer using evidence from the video, article, textbook. You can also do outside research. So notice how 50% is coming up with questions and 50% is answering questions. If all you do is create questions, you're only going to get a 50 on this assignment. But if you reply to a classmate answering their questions, then you will get the rest of that. So do this part early in the week. Come back later in the week and answer the rest of those questions. Once you're done, you're going to hit post reply, and then once you make your questions, you'll see everyone else's questions. Some of your early birds, you're going to get this done tomorrow. So don't forget, if you're an early bird and you get things done, don't forget to come back and reply, because that tends to be an issue where we want to check something off a list, we finish the discussion and we move on with our lives. but we have to come back and actually engage with other students in order to get credit for this discussion. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to look at some more open-ended questions, just look at any essay question in your textbook or any essay questions online. That might help you to get some ideas, but I do want you to come up with original open-ended questions for this assignment. Please make sure you meet me in an office hour if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody.